Uber claims you're earning $30 an hour behind the wheel. But here's the reality. After fuel, maintenance, and the ruthless algorithm, here's the reality. You're making less than $10 an hour. Stick around till the end and find out 10 things I wish I knew before I started driving for Uber and Lyft. Actually, there's a lot more than that because I got 5 bonus tips, then I got a joke at the end of the video. Number 1, you're running a small business. Don't be fooled by the gross profit you're making in the app. Your real earnings are what you pocket after costs. Between fuel, maintenance, insurance, repairs, and depreciation, a big chunk of your income goes right back into your car. For example, a median Uber driver in the city of Los Angeles averages around $20 an hour. And that's before taxes. Thanks to Prop 22. The Uber and Lyft algorithm will not allow you to make more than $20 an hour. Memorize that. I wish I knew that before I started driving for Uber and Lyft. You already know that 50% of your income is going to fuel, maintenance, insurance, repairs, and depreciation. So realistically, you're basically making around $10 an hour. But Uber and Lyft will lie to you and basically tell you and tell the media that as a driver, you can make over $30 an hour. I call bullshit. Did you know that every mile you drive lowers the value of your car? It's called depreciation. I had no idea what depreciation was. I had to ask my accountant. I had to ask my tax guy. Depreciation. I had no idea what that was. Let me give you a perfect example. I made the mistake of buying a brand new 2021 Toyota Highlander SUV because I wanted something nice and comfortable for myself and the passengers. It is an advantage to have a nice car because Uber will give you, in certain situations, better passengers because they want their passengers to have a great experience in a good car. I bought this car for $42,000. By the time I pay it off, I will have paid $48,000. It was a 6-year loan. Now, it's been 4 years. I still owe $20,000 on this car. If I go in to try to trade it in for another car, guess what Toyota is giving me? $10,000. I owe $20,000. What happens to the $10,000 I'm upside down? My mistake, learn from it, and that's depreciation, my friends. So never buy a brand new car to drive Uber and Lyft. Never, ever, ever do that. Now, you already know my car is $10,000 upside down. Let me break it down and tell you what that means in simple terms. Right now, I have to make an extra $10,000 for the year. $10,000 in order to recover my costs. You know what that comes to? Roughly $800 a month. That's around $200 a week. Basically, you have to make an extra $200 a week to make up for the depreciation. I wish I knew that before I started driving for Uber and Lyft. You know another thing I didn't realize? Of course they say we're independent contractors, but that basically means they don't take any taxes. By the end of the year, you are responsible for your taxes. And if you're not putting money away for your taxes, guess what? There's a big chunk of money that's gonna go or be taken away from you. You must set aside money for income taxes and even retirement, just as any small business owner would do. With Uber and Lyft, there's no 401k plan. There's no stock options, my friends. Pure modern slavery. I wish I knew that before I started driving for Uber and Lyft. Personally, I try to put away $300 a month just for taxes at the end of the year. This will give me around $3,000 to $4,000 in case I need to pay taxes. I also try to put away $700 a month for emergency expenses for car repairs. Trust me, that's gonna be an issue. And the $700 that I put away is also emergency money that's going towards my retirement. Bottom line, in order to stay profitable with Uber and Lyft, budget all your expenses. Track your mileage and receipts for your tax deductions and write-offs. Set aside funds weekly for your car maintenance and expenses, like for new tires, brakes, broken windshield, and treat your driving like a business. This way you won't be shocked when you get a huge tax bill or have an empty bank account when you need to do repairs and maintenance. And my apologies, it started raining. I hope the audio sounds okay. Number 2, protect yourself with proper insurance. A major pitfall that new drivers and even veteran drivers overlook is insurance. Your personal auto insurance will likely not cover accidents that happen while you're driving for hire. Most personal insurances have a business exclusion, meaning if you get into an accident with an Uber or Lyft passenger in the car, your insurance claim is denied with your personal auto insurance. Uber and Lyft do provide insurance while you're on the app, but it has limitations. It's very tricky and a very high deductible. From last time I remember, it was around $2,500 deductible and virtually no coverage if the app is on but you have no ride request. So what can you do? Before you start driving for Uber and Lyft, talk to your insurance provider and make sure you get a rideshare insurance coverage. I have a WhatsApp community, and I tell you, there were at least 5 people in that group that had no idea that they had to get rideshare insurance. In fact, I myself was driving for 2 years without rideshare insurance. My insurance provider didn't tell me, and honestly, I just didn't know. So this is something that's very important, that if you're driving for Uber and Lyft and you're a veteran driver or a new driver, make sure you have rideshare insurance. Yes, it is an extra expense. I pay an extra $50 a month for rideshare insurance, but it protects you. God forbid you get into an accident and get into a wreck. In short, don't hit go online until you're confident you're fully insured. Otherwise, one bad accident can wipe out all the earnings that you've made. Again, another driver in my WhatsApp community recently got into an accident. For 2 months, he was not able to drive Uber because his insurance company would not cover him, and it took him 2 months to find out from Uber and Lyft and prove that he did not have a passenger in the car. Do you want to deal with that headache? And they did say he did have rideshare insurance, but even with rideshare insurance, it took him almost 2 months to get his money in order to be able to drive for Uber and Lyft. And right now, he's doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub because the car he has is too old and he's not able to drive for Uber and Lyft anymore. Let me tell you one more thing. My personal car insurance used to be around $150. Then I got rideshare insurance. It went up to $200. And then, for some reason, every year they just bump my car insurance, my personal insurance up. Right now, I'm spending $300 a month on my personal ride insurance. But what doesn't make sense to me, and I want to let you guys know, is if I'm paying $300 a month for my personal rideshare insurance and my personal car insurance, I'm always driving Uber. On top of that, Uber is taking $20, $30 for commercial auto insurance. That's 3 insurances, and when it's time to take a claim, guess what happens? They all fight with each other, and it basically forces you to get a lawyer. My point is this: your car insurance and your rideshare insurance is gonna go up every single month. I didn't know that when I started driving for Uber and Lyft. So bottom line, please protect yourself. Have personal insurance, have rideshare insurance, and then when you're driving for Uber, understand there's gonna be a high deductible if you get into an accident, and you're gonna have to get a lawyer if you wanna get compensated. You don't get a lawyer, these insurance companies are gonna screw you over. Basically, they're gonna tell you to bend over. Number 3, work smart, not hard. In the rideshare industry, where and when you drive is critically important in order to make money. I wish I knew that. There is no freedom. They tell you you have the freedom and you can just get on the app whenever you want. You can get off the app whenever you want. Well, you won't make any money like that. It's not as simple as drive more, earn more. You have to drive efficiently. One thing many drivers or new drivers wish they knew is to avoid driving in the traffic and slow rush hour conditions. I wish I knew that. I learned that after 7 years of driving. Now, if there's heavy traffic from my house going towards Los Angeles, I take rides going the other way. After a couple of hours, guess what? The traffic dies down, then I take rides going towards Los Angeles. I wish I knew that. Uber and Lyft pay mostly by the mile with very low per minute rates. Basically, getting stuck in bumper to bumper traffic, you're not driving a lot more miles. So basically, you're taking up a lot of time. And when you're taking up a lot of time, you're basically gonna make below minimum wage. Recently, I got stuck in traffic and Uber charged the rider $35 extra and I got $5 for 30 minutes. Another example, recently I was at the Coachella Music Festival in Palm Springs. I picked up a passenger from the airport. It was gonna pay me around $38 to go 40 minutes. That's great money. You're almost making $1 a minute. So I took the ride, picked up the passengers, started dropping them off where I was supposed to go. By the time I got to the Airbnb where I was supposed to drop them off, there was a line. I tried to go around and let the person know at the gate, like, look, I got Uber, I'm an Uber driver, I got passengers, I want to drop them off. And they said, no, get back in line. They have to get a band. There's nothing we can do. I'm so sorry, the line is long, but everyone's coming over here for the festival, so you have to get in line. I said, no problem. I went ahead, I got in line. It took another 40 minutes to drop off these passengers. Guess how much Uber paid me for the extra 40 minutes? $7. $7. And in my estimation, I figured out for every 10 minutes you spend extra, Uber will give you $1. And you know what the passenger said? I'm so sorry, but we appreciate you. And that means zero tip right there. The only time I sit in traffic is when I want to get paid to go home. Now, I want you to start thinking like a fisherman. Pick a spot near a busy area, possibly an airport, somewhere where people travel or business people might be, or like in the mountains or the hills or right along the ocean where there's a lot of wealthy people living. Just pick a spot and start fishing. Also, learn your local demand patterns. There will be slow days and there will be slow hours. I wish I knew this before I started driving for Uber. For example, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are generally slow. I didn't know that. I used to drive those days trying to make the same amount of money I used to make Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Those are the days. What about the hours? 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. is guaranteed to be dead time, slow time, and you're going to get paid the bare minimum, right? So know your local demand and pattern. Basically, what I do is when it's slow from around 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., I turn the app off and I sit there and start creating content like this for one of my YouTube channels. So when it's slow from 1 to 4 p.m. almost every single day, I turn the apps off. I take those 3 hours and I focus on both of my YouTube channels. And either I'm writing a script or I'm recording videos like this or I'm editing. I basically make sure those 3 hours I'm not giving to Uber and Lyft, but I'm focusing on that time on passive income or multiple sources of income so I can stop driving for Uber and Lyft. Identify the peak times and events in your city. Like for example, on Fridays, it's normally busy in the evenings. Saturdays, it's normally busy in the evenings. So try to drive those days. Don't try to drive, for example, early Saturday morning where there's a chance people are sleeping in from being out late Friday night. Sometimes you can get lucky with the airport runs, especially Friday evenings and Monday mornings. You can definitely get airport runs. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is you have to test out your market. You have to figure out the right time to drive. You have to figure out the right locations and then only drive at those times. If you are not like me, driving 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, you're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to waste a lot of gas and it's not worth it in the long run. I learned that the hard way. By watching my videos, you're hopefully learning the easy way. And with Uber and Lyft, it's all about supply and demand. If you can get somewhere where the supply of passengers is high and there's less drivers, you're going to do just fine. But you got to figure that out for where you are in your state or in your county or in your city, because the market is completely different throughout America. I'll give you a simple example. Today, I started driving around 7:30 in the morning, and by 12:30 I took a break, and I already made $185 in 2 trips. I've made my minimum for the day, which is around $200. Now I'm sitting here and making videos because I don't have to sit here and drive during 1 to 4 p.m. when it's slow. Even on Saturdays it's slow. Recently, I also made $367 in 12 trips by driving at Stagecoach Music Festival. So when the days are hot and you're at a good event and you're making good money, ride the wave. Ride the wave. Memorize that. That's something I wish I knew before I started driving for Uber. The days that are hot where you're making good money, drive as long as you can and milk those 12 hours. Actually, I can push it to 15, 16 hours some days. Time out. Quick little reminder before we go over rest of the video. I do have a course. First link in the description is called Start Your Own Rideshare Business. Ideally, that's where you want to be at. I'll give you one example. Recently, somebody joined my WhatsApp community and became a gold member on the YouTube membership. Before he started watching my videos, he was making $27 an hour. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. But after watching my videos and the strategies and the tips and tricks that I've been teaching, he started making $33 an hour because he was tracking it with the Solo app. He actually showed me. We had lunch and dinner the other day. Well, we had dinner. We can't have lunch and dinner. And recently I asked him, like, what's the difference? He says, look, everything you show in your videos I applied, and I'm making $5 extra per hour. Let's say if he's driving for 10 hours, what is that? That's $50 a day he's making extra. That's almost $1,500 a month he's making extra just by applying what I'm saying. Now, here's the kicker. He took my course, and where I taught him, or I'm teaching people, because I'm still in the middle of finishing up my course, Start Your Own Rideshare Business. He basically said now he's making around $60 an hour because he's converting passengers, making them his own, and that's where he's making the core money. Then he uses Uber and Lyft to just compensate and make some money while he's going home, exactly what I teach. Number 4, beware of common traps and myths. One big myth is you can go to the airport and it's a gold rush or gold mine. No. If you watch my previous videos, you'll notice I used to talk about that all the time. Not anymore. In reality, the airport queue can be a time sink. You might wait 1 hour. You might wait 2 hours. And if you're like me, you'll wait 3 hours at the airport queue to barely get a $20 ride. They'll just cover your gas. Airports are not worth it anymore. There's certain times and certain days you can still do airport runs, but it's not what it used to be. That's a myth. And basically what's happening at the airports right now is there's just too many drivers. So what Uber ends up doing is people with the EVs, they get lucky, but almost everybody else is getting throttled. Thank God I have a laptop and I have a YouTube channel, because I do love those 3-hour breaks at the airport. I sit there and I just work and I work and I work and try to get more on my passive income. Believe it or not, this channel is less than 1.5 years old and it's already making around $700 to $1,000 a month with YouTube income and the online course that I'm selling. So I highly encourage you, if you're gonna go to the airport, be ready to get throttled for a couple of hours, but have something you can work on that's going to bring you or generate income for you. Another trap is assuming Uber and Lyft share rides will make you more or a lot more money because you carry multiple passengers. The platforms actually keep all the extra money. It doesn't come to you. And basically, the drivers are doing all the hard work. Pick up passenger A, pick up passenger B. Maybe you get a third one added. It's too much work for very little money. You know what I do? If I take a shared ride, I will take it, I'll pick up the passenger, and then I say, stop new requests. They can't do anything about that. And guess what? No new passengers or riders will get added to your current trip. Basically, you're forcing Uber to turn the shared ride into a normal ride. Another big myth or mistake that new drivers and even certain veteran drivers make, trust me, in my WhatsApp community, I hear people once in a while tell me, hey, I got a surge, I chased it, and right when I got there, they took it away. Yeah. We've known this for a long time. So if you're driving and you're chasing surges, look, you got 3 minutes and you better hope there's no stop sign. You better hope there's no red light, because the moment you hit a red light or a stop sign and it's going to take you longer than 3 minutes, guess what? That surge is going to be gone. It's gone. It's a carrot in front of the stick. Remember, you get max 3 minutes to hit that surge. Now, there is a way to force Uber to pop a surge. I've actually been creating content on this. I've been recording it. There's 4 or 5 times I've forced Uber to pop a surge. Then I grab that surge and I carry it with me. I literally steal it. Then I go somewhere and then I apply that surge. And you have 5 chances to do that. Basically, once you grab a surge and you move, there's 5 times you can say no. And by the 6th time or maybe the 5th time, you have to take the ride, whatever it offers. But it's worth it if it's like a $15 surge. There's a homeless guy coming right here. I'm like watching out. I'm making sure my door's locked and everything is cool. My point is this. Look, if you want to know how to force the app to pop a surge, let me know. I've got 4 or 5 videos that I've recorded in the last month, and I might consider making that video, but only if you let me know in the comments how to force it. There's nobody else teaching this trick because they don't even know how to do this. The truth is this, there's no magic code. There's no easy way to make money in rideshare. You gotta grind, you gotta rinse and repeat and memorize. Apps are programmed. The algorithm is programmed to keep you at 20 bucks an hour and you're gonna be making $10 an hour. I'm gonna keep repeating this so you understand it, because 99% of the drivers, I guarantee you, are not making more than $10 to $15 an hour. And of course, I'm talking about after expenses and maintenance and all that fun stuff. I want you to focus on proven strategies. On my YouTube channel, there are over 600 videos that I've made in the last year and a half. Find a playlist you like, watch all the videos. In fact, when you're picking up passengers and they're not talking to you, just listen to my videos as a podcast and train your subconscious mind, and eventually the stuff that I'm teaching will help you, and in the long run you'll end up making more money. Consider joining our YouTube membership. It's $9.99. But the advantage is you get to jump on my WhatsApp community. You get to talk to 20 other drivers from different states and different cities. And every day we're talking and we're helping each other out. Let me give you one simple example. Yesterday, I was at Stagecoach Music Festival in Palm Springs driving. One of the drivers, Mr. Clifford, sent a message and said the 10 freeway is blocked. There's an accident, fire truck. Do not come this way. Guess what? I was at the airport in Palm Springs. When I picked up my passenger, I let him know, even though Uber's telling me to take the freeway, sir, I'm going to take Highway 111 and get you to La Quinta. I know you live at the PGA golf course, but this is the best way to go. If I go on the freeway, we're going to get stuck for 15 minutes. He's like, thank you. I just came back from England. I'm tired and I trust your judgment. And I checked on Google Maps. I was right. Uber was wrong. Why? Because Uber is going to probably charge that passenger more money and you get nothing. For 10 minutes extra on the freeway, you might make $1 extra. It's not worth it. When it's an event going on in Palm Springs, you want to drop this passenger off as fast as you can so you can take advantage of the next passenger you can pick up. This is literally how I made $367. Actually, I made $387 because I got a $20 catch tip. Another example, when drivers were driving for Coachella and Stagecoach, I basically told them my strategy. I said, look, guys, everybody's going to be going to the event. It's going to be a zoo. You're going to get stuck in traffic. You're not going to make any money. Use your destination mode, grab the surge and go towards the airport. And then by the time you get to the airport, there are going to be no drivers. You're going to make more money. One driver in the WhatsApp community was averaging $500 a day. Actually, he made around $1,200 in 2 days. I barely made $900 in 2 days. So my point is this: if you're part of a YouTube community or you're part of our WhatsApp group, every day we're going to be giving you tips and tricks, and we're going to help you get to a point so you can make the maximum amount of money. Number 5, prioritize your health to prevent burnout. Driving full-time for Uber and Lyft could be physically draining and mentally draining. It seems easy, just driving, but for hours on the road takes a toll. Eye strain, back pain, hunger, and stress from traffic and difficult passengers can build up very quickly. It is vital to take breaks and set up a schedule, just like a normal job, right? If you were doing a W-2 job, after 3 or 4 hours, they give you a 15-minute break. After working 8 hours, you get at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes for a lunch break. Basically, you want to be able to do that for yourself. Force yourself to take mini breaks, longer breaks, and even schedule days off. Force yourself. You don't want to grind like me 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. It's going to take a toll on your health. Basically, what I personally do is after I drop off a passenger, I always take a 5-minute break, no matter what, right? The only exception is if there's surging where I'm at and it's hot money, then I might take 2 or 3 passengers in a row, and then I'll take a 15-minute break. That's basically my daily routine. After every passenger, take a 5-minute break. Luckily, I don't take more than 6 to 10 passengers a day, so my style of driving allows me to do that. And the kind of breaks that I take is after I drop off a passenger, I'll go out for 5 minutes and I'll just stretch my legs. Second time I drop off a passenger, I'll go out for 5 minutes and do push-ups. Third time I drop off a passenger, I'll go 5 minutes out and do squats. I force myself to get out of the car, move my legs, stretch my back, and just get out of the goddamn car. You also want to watch your posture when you're driving. You want to be hunched over like this and then driving and be super tired. And next thing you know, your neck is hurting or your back is hurting. I've got a back cushion and I've got an ass cushion, a butt cushion, right? This keeps me comfortable when I'm driving. It doesn't cost a lot of money. I think these things cost like $10 or $15. You can order them from Amazon, or you can go to any auto store. You can pick up something. Do some research on it, because I bought plenty of these and not all of them work well. Some of them are too hard on your butt. Remember, pace yourself. Rideshare is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Maintaining a work-life balance will make you a happier driver and basically help you stay in the gig economy and work a little bit longer in the rideshare industry. If you would like more information on meditation, yoga, breath work, I have a second YouTube channel called You Are Born Spiritual. The link is in the description. Check it out. I apply these meditation techniques to stay calm and prayers every single day in order to keep my mood and energy up. Number 6. Uber and Lyft are not ideal for full-time work. I wish I knew this when I started driving for Uber, because in the beginning I was making $400 or $500 a day and I loved it. I'm like, oh man, I could just do this for the rest of my life. No, my friends, let me tell you why. You get $0 for a sick day. Right now, 2 of my friends from the WhatsApp community got hurt. It was raining, they slipped, they messed up their shoulder, rotator cuff. It's taking them almost 6 weeks to heal, and guess what? They have to drive in order to pay their bills. With Uber and Lyft, you get $0 for a sick day. For vacation time, guess how much vacation time you get as an Uber driver? I wish I knew this. I actually knew this. I knew they don't give you anything. 0. You get 0 vacation time. You already know about the 401k, right? You get $0 towards your retirement as an Uber or Lyft driver. You already know about the stock options, right? You get $0 for Uber and Lyft stock. And lastly, if your car breaks down, guess how much money Uber's gonna give you for repairs? You guessed it, my friends. $0 if your car breaks down for maintenance, repairs, anything. You can't even be on the platform. In fact, you most likely will have to rent a car for $300 to $500 a week just so you can drive and pay your bills. Let's say your car gets into an accident. Guess how much Uber's gonna give you for the downtime? $0. personal auto insurance, rideshare insurance, commercial auto insurance with Uber, and guess what? They're gonna give you $0 in case you get into an accident. I really want you to understand how the algorithm works. Write this one down. The longer you drive for Uber and Lyft, the smarter the algorithm gets, the less money you make. I didn't know that as a driver. I learned that after 7 years of driving. The algorithm will force you to put in more hours to make the same amount of money. The solution is simple. I've already said it earlier. One, you want a multi-app. You want to do DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart, Uber, Lyft, whatever you can get your hands on. You want to be doing all of that. You want to be signed up for them. You don't want to sign up for these apps when you get deactivated from Uber or Lyft. And the thing that I do, you already know. Work on passive income. Work on multiple sources of income. Right now, I have money coming in from YouTube, online course, private clients, WhatsApp community, right? These are 4 different sources of income that are coming in. I didn't plan to do that. I was forced to do it because of this shitty algorithm. Number 7, little extra courtesy goes a long way. In the rideshare world, customer service can go a long way. It's a difference between getting good ratings and getting good tips. I didn't know that when I started driving Uber. I used to be actually very angry. I used to argue and fight on a particular point. For example, should we vote for Biden or should we vote for Trump? We used to get into arguments, and eventually I realized, Ahmed, Uncle Uber, just shut the hell up. If they love Trump, you love Trump. If they love Biden, you love Biden. And guess what happened? My tips went way up. My ratings went way up. Stop arguing with your customers. Riders notice the small things, and those can be the difference between a basic ride and a great experience. Keep your car clean and comfortable for the passengers, and this is non-negotiable. Half the passengers, when we have conversation in the car and I ask them, well, what do you not like about other drivers? How can I improve as a driver? And they say, you know what? Half the cars smell like cigarette. Half the cars smell like weed. Half the cars are full of trash. You don't want to be that driver. No one wants to sit in a dirty or smelly car. A quick vacuum. That's it. That's all it takes. Take the mats out and shake them and keep your car clean. It's not that hard. It takes a few minutes a day, but it makes a big difference for your customers. Many drivers invest in things like this. This is called a scent bomb. Just before a beautiful lady gets in the car, I go like this. No, I'm just kidding. I just spray it. One spray, the car smells great. And then they get in the car and they're like, oh my God, your car smells great. People notice little things like that. Another pro tip is to have certain practical amenities in your car. And I'm not talking about having water or gum, because trust me, they leave the bottle and they leave the gum somewhere in the car. That's not fun. Something as simple as a phone charger, multi-cable for different phones can delight the riders. Passengers, especially when I pick them up from the airport and I drop them off, they compliment, oh, thank you for the charger. My phone is almost dead. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It costs you very little, but chances of getting a tip go up. Above all, be polite and professional. Greet your riders, confirm their name and destination, and make eye contact. You don't need to be a tour guide or a chatterbox if they're not into you. Reading the passenger's mood is the key. If they want to talk, absolutely have a conversation with them. If they want you to listen, then be a good listener. Trust me, you read their mood and you mirror it, it will work out. Sometimes they don't want to talk. They just want you to be quiet and they just want to sit and work on their laptop. In that situation, be quiet. Put on my YouTube channel and listen to my podcast. These little gestures can make your ride stand out in a good way, leading to higher earnings over time. By the way, my next video is going to be about tips. I have to be careful because sometimes I say tits, right? I'm working on it. The script is done and that video is coming up. Stay tuned. And thank you for everybody that let me know in the comments that you want me to make a video about tips. Number 8, don't obsess over your rating. Star ratings are a point of anxiety for certain drivers, especially new drivers. It's important to do a good job, but don't stress out if you don't have a perfect 5.0 rating. My rating right now is 4.98, and it's impossible to get a 5.0 rating. There are some drivers who have it, but it is very difficult to do that, so don't stress over it. I wish I knew that before I started driving for Uber and Lyft. Here's what you need to know. As long as your rating stays above the platform's minimum threshold, normally around 4.75 depending on Uber and Lyft, you're generally fine. One experienced driver from the WhatsApp community put it bluntly: your ratings don't mean anything. If they get low, of course you might get deactivated, but having a perfect 4.98 or 5.0 rating means nothing to your earnings, so stop stressing out over it. Occasionally, some passengers or riders might give you a low rating. Don't worry about it. Shake it off. There's definitely people out there that are having a bad day and they take it out on you. It's nothing personal, guys. Number 9, safety first. Protect yourself and your vehicle. Driving strangers around comes with some risks, and seasoned drivers know not to take unnecessary risks. I think that kind of rhymed a little bit. Trust your instincts with every ride. If a rider gives you a bad vibe or you feel uneasy, cancel that ride. For example, a passenger is intoxicated and you can see them and they can barely stand up. That is not your headache. You do not need to pick up that passenger. Feel free to cancel. It's not worth it. I always say, trust your gut instinct. You know where your gut is? Right below your belly button. If you have a weird feeling or a weird vibe, don't take that passenger. Just cancel. Play it safe. The universe and God is giving you a warning. Don't be a numbnut, right? You don't feel comfortable, just cancel. I'll give you a simple example. A lot of times you get a ride and the customer will start texting you, hey, where are you? Why aren't you here? What's taking you so long? Cancel that shit, right? If they're already texting you, it's going to be a headache client. Anytime a passenger has called me and is constantly texting me, it's always been a headache. Just cancel. It's not worth it. If a group of passengers try to get in your car and you can only seat 6 people, but there's 7 of them, you don't have to take that passenger. It just happened to me yesterday. I was at the Stagecoach Music Festival. I asked the customer, how many people? They said 5 and a baby. So I assumed 5 people are going to try to get in my car. No problem. They had 5 different bags and a stroller. So by the time I put my seats down, put everything in, I could barely fit 5 people. And guess what? The wife wanted to sit on the dude's lap. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? They're like, oh, we thought, no, you thought wrong. You're not going to get in here if I can't put a seatbelt on you. I get in trouble. Right now, I'm going to take you to Palm Springs Airport. There's already like 10 cops there waiting for us to make a mistake. No, I'm sorry. You need to order another ride. Then I looked at their face and they turned red and purple. And I was like, you know what? That's not my fault, right? I can't do that. You're trying to sneak in an extra person. No, that's a big no in Uncle Uber's book, right? But while I was driving and I only had 3 people in the car, I apologized and I said, I'm sorry. It might seem a little bit harsh, but God forbid if there is an accident or something happens, I get in trouble. I won't be able to drive. And I don't want to explain to the judge why I allowed you to get in. Meaning, passengers will try to sneak in and get in and sit in someone's lap, or especially young college kids will try to sneak in an extra person. That's a big no-no. The biggest tip I can tell you about safety is get a dash cam. Before I had a dash cam, and I'm telling you this because a lot of people in my WhatsApp community still don't have a dash cam. Before I had a dash cam and I picked up people, they would do vulgar things. Some of them would tap me in the head. I used to wear a hat. They would take my hat off. Some of them would hit me. Some of them would talk about some obscene sexual harassment things that they wanted to do to me. These guys are drunk. I'm not gay. The guy is gay, but he's hitting on me and he wants to do certain things to me. Guess what? Once I install the dash cam, none of this stuff happens anymore. They see the dash cam, they see the red light blinking, and they all behave. And trust me, the dash cam will hold up in court. And in a rare case, you get into an accident, guess what? The dash cam is going to save you with the insurance, is going to save you with Uber, is going to save you in the long run. I'm gonna say this one more time. Get a dash cam. It's not a lot of money, maybe less than $200, but it will protect you and keep you safe in the long run. I didn't know that. When I first started driving Uber, I didn't have a dash cam for 2 years. This is my favorite safety tip. Keep your doors locked. You go show up to pick up a passenger and they're not there, just lock your doors, because you have no idea what's gonna happen. This one time I had a homeless dude try to get in my car. Luckily I had the doors locked. I saw him. He's looking at me and I'm like, why is this homeless guy looking at me? Next thing I know, I'm sitting here tapping away, working on my YouTube videos, and all of a sudden I see him try to get in my car and open the back door. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Get the hell out of here. You have to be assertive, and he got scared and he left. But my point is this: if I didn't have my door locked, that drunk homeless dude was gonna get in my car and God knows what he was gonna do to me. Another quick reminder, in my last YouTube video, how to beat the Uber algorithm in 2025 every time, I went over a visual graphic. It's a reverse triangle. It basically teaches you how the algorithm works. It's one of my favorite and best videos that I've done. Almost got 10,000 views. Check it out. It will teach you a lot about the algorithm. The whole video is talking about this particular graphic and how to beat the Uber algorithm in 2025. Number 10, it can actually be fun and rewarding. It's not all about warnings and challenges. Trust me, driving for Uber is actually fun. You get to meet a lot of interesting people. You get to learn a lot. And for me personally, I didn't know this was gonna happen, but when I started driving for Uber and Lyft, I used to be arrogant and I used to be very angry. And over the last 7 years, I've calmed way down, right? It's allowed me to go into my inner child and basically put my ego in check. I actually learned a lot about my city. I thought I knew Los Angeles. No. After I started driving for Uber and Lyft, I found out all about all the cool local events. I found out about all the cool restaurants. You get to meet some amazing people from different countries and different cultures. And trust me, you learn a lot. Every single passenger brings something unique and different. Initially, I was driving Uber to make money, but honestly, I created this YouTube channel and I created a community, and I could have never imagined that 7 years ago. If you have kids and you have other obligations, maybe you got to take somebody to the hospital or to medical appointments. For that, Uber is a great side hustle. It's not ideal for full-time driving, but for a side hustle, it is an amazing side job. In short, driving for Uber is not that bad. I don't want to be negative and I don't want to keep giving you warnings. This video is more over just letting some of the veteran drivers and new drivers know that these are the 10 things. And actually, you guys know it's not 10 things. I probably went over 30 things. And now it's time for bonus tips. But my point is this: it's not that bad. You got to try to make the best of the cards that the universe has dealt for you. 5 bonus tips. Driving for Uber and Lyft is like playing a video game. Even though they say you have 10 seconds to make a decision, you don't. You literally have 3 to 5 seconds to make a decision. And if you don't, it's going to be tough. They basically want you to make a mistake. And when you make a mistake, the greedy algorithm makes more money and you make less money. Number 2, they will consistently try to trick you so you make mistakes. Your job is to slow it down and take it nice and easy, one passenger, one ride at a time. And definitely have a game plan. Number 3 bonus tip. It is a dopamine rush. Basically, you'll be driving and you'll get a $50 ride. You get all excited and your mood and energy will go up, and then bam, you didn't match for that ride. And then all of a sudden, dopamine rush goes down and you're gonna have this awkward, weird, negative feeling inside. And they're gonna do that to you over and over. Give you a high, give you a low, give you a high, give you a low. And eventually you're gonna crumble and you're gonna start taking these $5 rides or $3 rides and say you don't have a choice. Well, they got you. Your job is to be stubborn like me, have a plan, position yourself, drive at the right time, and make the best of it. Number 4 bonus tip. Driving for Uber and Lyft is like a chess game. And do you really think you can beat an algorithm that knows everything about you, knows everything about the drivers, and in fact knows everything about all the drivers in all the states and all the cities and all the counties and all the countries? No, it's a chess match. In order to beat them on a chess match, guess what? You need to be on the right side. You need to be on the side where you have other drivers that are, in your network or in your group. And I highly recommend start your own rideshare business. First link in the description. And what happens is, like me, you'll be averaging $60 to $100 an hour versus making $20 and realistically $10 an hour. It's a chess match. You want to beat Uber and Lyft? Start your own rideshare business. Keep 100% of the profits. The link is in the description. Number 5 bonus trip. 1 out of 100 passengers is gonna do something weird. They're gonna be drunk, they're gonna throw up, they're gonna forget their wallet, forget their key. It's gonna throw your mood off. Just because you had a bad passenger, it doesn't mean they're all gonna be like that. Rinse it off, let it go, and if you're in a really bad mood, just stop driving, go home, take a break, go watch a movie, go meditate, go for a walk, do some squats, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, do something to change your mood and bring your energy back up. Worst case scenario, call it a day, rinse and repeat. You're gonna be there driving the next day and start all over again. We're almost done with this video, and I'm gonna give you a little joke. Uncle John, who drives in Palm Springs, a part of my WhatsApp community, told me something funny that happened with one of his passengers. I'm just gonna read it to you. I think this is hilarious. And if you'd like more jokes in my videos, maybe you want me to start with a joke, you want me to end with a joke, let me know in the comments. I got so many stories to tell you guys, and I'll make them funny.
Uncle John, I had no idea driving Uber could be this much fun. Last night, I took 3 ladies to dinner, showing off my local guide skills. So I say very casually, "Oh, and if you want to hit the dance club later, the line starts around 8 p.m. They burst out laughing. I'm confused, so I ask, "What's so funny?" One of them goes,
"Wait, you mean the queue starts at 8, not the line of cocaine?"
I was like, "Whoa, ladies, this ride only includes good music and bottled water." Moments like that remind me rideshare isn't all surge pricing and flat tires. Sometimes it's pure comedy gold.
My friends, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, liking the video, commenting, sharing it with somebody else that could benefit. Share it with your mom, share it with your wife, share it with your girlfriend, share it with your mistress. It helps me out. It helps out Uncle Uber, because the more people that watch this video, the more chances of it going viral, and it's all about helping each other out.